All right, so I was channel surfing on last night when I was watching the different programs I mentioned from yesterday. But you know, um, Kelly Clarkson made a comment that none of the singers sounded alike, like it's a bad thing to sound alike. Well, that's how you learn to sing, Kelly. You don't learn to distinguish any voice from another when you start singing. You're supposed to learn to sing together. That's why we have choirs in church, or, you know, when you perform a piece for your school choir, the first thing you learn is how to sing as one, right? It's not a bad thing, but sometimes you act like it is because with your interpretation of copyright law, we can't even sound alike a little bit. That's not what that law is for either. To force you to sound different than someone else either. Like, even Gaudier's, Gaudier, whatever his name was, right? Sounds a little close to Sting, right? Right. Now you're just someone that I used to know. Right. Somebody! Right. Don't he? That's why it was a one hit wonder, I guess. I know. Right? But that's okay. No. I like the song. I'm glad it's popular now. All right. But it's not a crime. I know. To sound similar to someone, it's supposed to be part of entertainment too. All right. It's called impersonation. It used to be big early on. Rich Little, Dana Carvey, right? Yeah. Used to be a talent there, right? To change your voice and impersonate people, right? Whatever happened to that? Oh, I guess you think copyright law means you can't do that. No, it don't. It don't. Because, see, I'm not the person I'm impersonating either. The point of impersonation is to sound different than yourself, right? And if you can achieve that goal, you're doing impersonations of other people, right? And then you're a different kind of entertainer, right? Well, you learn to change your voice a little bit there and sound like other people, and that's how you do impersonations, right? Do I even sound like myself? But that's my bass, right? See, I'll show you my bass voice, right? Either one. Either one. That's what I mean, right? And there's nothing wrong with sounding different either. I ain't saying that, right? We ain't gotta all sound the same, but usually if you're a human being, you want someone to sound like you. Why? Because it proves you're not alone, right? That we're all on the same planet together. That we can sing together as well as different, right? It's kind of the whole point to everything. In fact, it's more curious why you can't sing in unison with each other rather than you have to sound different, right? It's really harder in a way to sound different, I guess, right? But like I said, right? Can I sing a song by Steve Perry and sound like Steve Perry and Shane Lee, right? Winter is here again, oh Lord. Winter is here again, oh Lord. Haven't been home in a year or more. Ooh, I hope she holds on a little longer. Whoa. And even then, what? But you know my voice. I can't augment it or change it a little as well. I know. And I'm more talking than singing. See, another thing choirs point out is when you talk, you might have an accent, right? Well, my choir teacher taught us not to use our southern drawl when we sing, like a country singer, right? He didn't like the country singing sound, right? Even though I sound more like Foghorn Leghorn a little bit now. But still, I can also drop the accent, right? Dude, that's impersonation too. That's why some of the comedians like Jimmy Fallon, Mike Myers sound Scottish. I'm Scottish. or something. Did you happen to catch today's menu? Well, that's the thing about impersonators. We change our voice to match other people's voice, and that's supposed to be an entertaining talent too, right? Because you do not expect me to sound differently or like a rich Boston guy or something. Right. Whole point to changing your voice. Now, if you're denying I'm changing your voice, you're suspicious. Unless you're tone deaf, you hear it, or really deaf, you hear it. See, that's just called denial there. When you're denying you're hearing what you're hearing, that's a mental illness too. That's called delusional, right? It's the first step to being mentally ill. You're lying on someone because you have what? Are you part of the FBI? Are you part of the Navy? Are you part of the military? What's your gig? That you think you can lie on me and people won't care or will believe you over me. Right? Was it the schizophrenia I was diagnosed because I got confused with a girlfriend, right? After we had sex under a tree in a park? Right. That did happen, right? So if I got confused, but my shipmates were the ones receiving the letters, right? And it was their job to give me my letters, and they're the only ones who could have sabotaged the relationship with the girlfriend. All I can ask the girlfriend, well, is did I write you type letters or something? Right. Because, see, me personally, I only wrote her handwritten letters telling her about my life in Georgia before I got in the Navy, right? Which did include a dream which might be tied into the two witnesses in Revelations. Hell, I thought maybe that was another reason she could have freaked out on me. I was one of the two witnesses, and she didn't think I deserved a life or something. Because I'm a prophet, I'm a male. Oh, no. And I was supposed to go to Jerusalem with another male. That's what they think the two witnesses are. But wait a minute. It also does another identifier of the two, right? Which really makes it seem like there's four involved, right? It says these are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks. Well, see, olive trees traces back to King David, who said, I'm like a green olive tree. And candlesticks, or lamps, traces back to virgins or women, right? Right? You do not like a candlestick or a lamp, okay, whatever you want to call it, and put it under a bushel. Also means if you get a woman pregnant, you do not abandon her like she's not someone you got pregnant and have a baby with. You at least try to pay child support to her, like I did in case with Mary Bell, she somehow got pregnant while on birth control pills. Now, I do understand she's confused about it, but so am I. I thought the birth control pills would work too, honey. I'm just trying to say, well, you put Scott's name on the birth certificate, and legally I can't even pay you child support, but nor does Scott if he suspects the child ain't mine. Right? I don't know what's going on with you. Right? I ain't heard from you in 3 years, and you're telling me this story out the blue. Well, we got to get a DNA test either way. And I done did one with Jonathan and Daphne, by the way. Mine's already on the books, right? So again, I care about you enough that even though we're not together anymore, and you moved on and I moved on, even though I'm still single, right? Let's do this. Let's get the DNA test. Let's find out if the child is mine or not, right? And you'll get child support like Daphne. Oh no. That's all I offered her. Oh no, it is. And the rest of it is messing with her. She was messing with me about it, right? Because after you tell me that, you're messing with me that you don't even care or want to know the truth, right? Well, if you don't care, you never cared about me, period, right? Even if I was to get you pregnant, which makes our whole relationship on your part seem a sham. Like I was just rebound sex. One of the things about rebound sex is the girl's not as committed to you, right? She's just having sex with you, right? Which can still lead to a possible pregnancy, which is part of what I'm talking about when I was maybe speaking in tongues into to her in Tagalog. I'm talking about marrying her or something, right? I even sang to her in tongues, which, the Bible does mention the Song of Moses, and which the 144,000, which could be 144,000 males and females, by the way, who are all virgins, right? Which would really be 288,000, by the way. John's trying to test you if you're ignorant of the truth. I know. And see, they could also marry from their virginity. One partner. You understand, right? Now, I've been with a number of women. Maybe just recently a girl in the nail salon, but they're acting weird about it. Because it could also be entrapment. They were trying to set me up with a 15-year-old who told me she was 37, but working in a store where she had to be 16, right? That's entrapment. The very nature of the word means you're not following your own laws, right? And trying to get me in trouble for breaking your laws, which I'm trying to follow because I'm mentally ill, and I know the age of consent is 16 in Georgia, right? Well, if the girl can't legally do the job till she's 16 because this particular job has a problem with it, being that the chemicals in the nail remover, polish remover, is dangerous for someone to inhale. That's also why they wear the mask. But they also, in Georgia, don't want the person to be under 16 doing that, right? It's like working in a bar. You got to be 18 or older to work in the bar. And you got to be still 21 to drink. Now, that's also why Kevin, well, God, Kevin, what was his name? Spacey. When he hit on the guy who was working behind the bar and bought him a drink or something, whatever the hell was going on there, and it turned out he was really 18 or something, whatever that scandal was about. Mom stepped in and seemed to make it all an issue, right? And tried to get Kevin in a lot of trouble, and did. But the problem is, though, if the boy's 18, he can consent to sex, right? Uh-oh. But if he's also 18, he's not supposed to drink till he's 21, even if Kevin's buying him a drink. He's supposed to say, I'm not 21 yet. Because see, Kevin don't know that because he's working behind the bar. See, that's, something you might not know if you're a little intoxicated yourself. You understand? Well, anyway, not that I am gay myself or that I have a problem with Kevin feeling gay, right? Okay, if he feels gay and he's hitting on someone who's acting like he's receptive to it at the time, right? he's acting a little gayish too, right? Even if he says, well, I didn't mean that, okay, fine, fine. You can repent of being gay, I guess, right? It's not something you have to do or don't have to do or can't even experiment with, right? And I understand that part of it, right? You might do it a few times and say it's not for you, even. I don't judge that. But some people do, they say if you do something once, that's your label. You're gay, you're gay. Well, that's not what the Bible's about. It's about repentance. What that means is if you make a bad mistake for you, right? Even if you're with another guy, you don't have to let that mistake define you or label you as gay or straight, right? If you do it a few times, say no more than 7, according to Peter, right? Lord Jesus said 70 times 7, which is 490 men. You might can sleep with, who cares, right? Not my business. But the problem is, though, it's a crime, right, to the UCMJ for people to be and have anal sex, right? Or sodomy, as it's called, right? Just trying to call it by a cleaner name, right? But it's the same idea. You're not supposed to have butt sex with a man, right? Another term for it, right? In the military, anyone in the military cannot have butt sex, right? Then why are you attacking me every day when I'm talking about a subject matter that shouldn't have to do with you if you're straight? And you don't accuse someone who has a wife and 18 women or 17 women of being gay. Normally either, do you? Unless you're part of the homophobic and homosexual subculture. Well, the subculture has all kind of crazy ideas about it. Including you don't have a choice to be gay, right? No. You are letting yourself feel attracted towards the opposite or same sex, right? You kind of feed the dragon, as some people say, right? You learn to be attracted either to the male there or the female there, right? That's your choice. That's two forms, right? You can choose to be attracted to. If you have more than one choice, you got one or the other, that's when you make a choice. Do I do this or that? That automatically makes it a choice. Am I going to be attracted towards the males of the species or the females, right? Well, if you're attracted to the males, you're gay, right? If you're attracted to the females, you're straight. And if you're attracted to both, you're bi. And if you don't want sex at all, you're celibate. You have 4 choices there, right? Right. See what I mean? Now, talking about sex is also demonized, right? Well, how can you deal with it if you don't talk about it? Didn't the Bible say confess your faults one to another? What's your issue? What's your damage, right? What's your nom de plume? What's your fake name? Fonz? Mm-hmm. No, it's not. That's someone else's fake name. Henry Winkler is his acting name, in case that's a nom de plume. And even if he's more than Henry Winkler, right? Which still sounds like a made up name to most people anyway. Even Shane Edward Lee, my name could be made up. It's associated with English royalty too. King Edward, I think, was the King of England, right? But whatever. That's why someone might name their child Edward, right? Doesn't mean I'm a British royalty, even if I'm English, right? Even if I'm associated with the House of Lancaster. I'm still not necessarily British royalty. Or in line for the throne. Nope. That's okay. And other people's married into the line too, right? I understand that. Windsor, or whatever that means, right? Palace and all that. But it's okay. I'm not Harry or William. I remember it. I remember it. Not associated with the royalty in England, right? Or Britain, right? And that's okay, though I'm English, right? But not in line for the throne, like with King Ralph either. but, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm also trying to educate people. Okay, if something's a crime in the Navy, nobody can do it. And you don't accuse someone of molesting a stepdaughter just because you're doing a crime in the Navy and you're trying to make it look like you're not. Nor can you use a mental illness to define the person either, who might be misdiagnosed a little bit. Because someone like Captain Carey might be overreacting. I don't know. Maybe the shipmates were overreacting to me having a girlfriend. If they are, and I did, right, me and the girlfriend started off normally. The problem wasn't coming until she started writing me on the shit, right? Well, the only thing they can do is write her negative letters to discourage her from being with me. Whereas I'm a Christian, I'm writing her Christian type letters. I'm sending her Bible studies. I'm doing things a Christian boyfriend would do without judging her or condemning her. No. Even if I'm one of the two witnesses, I would still accept her as my wife and the candlestick to my olive tree. Which is